A week from now, Rob, Team USA, believe it or not, it's here already, will play an exhibition game, their first exhibition game against Canada. That's July 10th. So that'll be next Wednesday in Las Vegas to get themselves ready for the Olympic competition in Paris. Of course, our team is Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Drew Holiday, Tyrese Halliburton. So we got some youth. We're getting some youth on there. LeBron, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo. Steve Kerr will coach. This coaching staff: Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Tyronn Lue, and Mark Few from Gonzaga. That's a heck of a coaching staff and a heck of a team. So this is what I want to ask you, Rob. I think we both are in agreement that this is the last time, I mean, at least for the foreseeable future, that we'll be able to quote unquote big boy the world. Like, last year in the FIBA World Championships, we didn't medal, but we had a bunch of young guys over there, right? So now we're like, okay, we're sending the big boys again. We've done that several times. Remember 1992, of course, the Dream Team, our college kids have been losing that, college. America used to be so dominant, Rob, in basketball. You remember this, that our college kids, we wouldn't even send the pros. A lot of young people, Rob, they may know it.
Right.
Some may not even know it. But Michael Jordan played in the Olympics with, I believe, Chris Mullin on that team, maybe Ewing, but, it was a bunch of college guys. And they ran through the world. And then I remember, Rob, vividly when we started losing with our college guys. And these, our college guys were future stars in the NBA. And I was my, I don't know if this was the first year we lost. It might have been. It was either the first or the second. And it wasn't necessarily this wasn't the Olympics, but it was just world competition. And I don't know if we won in 88 now that I think about it. We may have lost in 88. Check, Patrick, look that up. We may have lost in 88. But I remember I was interning, Rob, right after I graduated at the Indianapolis Star. And, I would watch the games in my dorm room. Mm-hmm. And I think it might have been Kenny Anderson and I don't know if David Robinson, but, a lot of our top college guys at the time. And we were losing. And, of course, in 1992, a couple years later, we say, okay, let's send the big boys. Let's send the big guns. And we demolished the world with Magic and Jordan and Bird, et cetera. And it stayed that way for, several years. 2000, actually, that's only 8 years. We barely won, right? Lithuania gave us some issues. Then in a few years, we were losing in the international competition. And we lost in 2004. And, it just was what. Then we big boyed them again and sent the Redeem Team, right? 2008. And now, Rob, we're doing it one more time. But this is probably the last time. When I say big boy the world, I mean send our best players over there and know for a fact we're winning. But I'm going to continue to use that term because I think we're the favorites and we should be. But it ain't a guarantee, Rob. I don't think, even with all those legends on this team, I don't think it's a guarantee that we
I think they're too old. I think the team is too old, Chris. I'm not convinced that they're going to win gold. I know it looks impressive. Do you
favor us? I have us favored, but I there's definitely it's not a sure thing.
I don't know who to pick, like internationally.
Canada's going to be tough. They got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They got Jamal Murray.
I like the first two to start, right?
And then they have some guys. I don't think Wiggins is going to play, but Lou Dort from OKC, who's a great defensive player. Mm-hmm. I'll look up the whole team, but they have a squad. But go ahead and make your point. I'll look up their roster.
I don't know. I think, Chris, if this was 5 years ago with those names, no doubt about it. It's an old squad. No,
it is an old.
LeBron,
it is old.
Kevin Durant. Who else we got? Steph. I mean, are we long in the tooth with this team? I think we're long in the tooth.
But here's the other thing. So those guys are old. LeBron, Steph, Durant. And then you've got Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Kawhi Leonard. Not old necessarily, but as you know, injury prone.
Exactly. There's
I don't even think. I mean, I gotta be honest. I'm not mad at them. I'm not gonna like.
No, I'm mad.
Go to bat to have them not play. But
especially
are you mad?
Kawhi.
I was gonna say Kawhi and AD. I mean, it's their choice.
Kawhi.
But AD Kawhi and Embiid.
AD was healthy last year. If he's healthy, he can play. Okay, but Kawhi wasn't. Really?
Well,
God
he was healthy
forbid.
during the season.
No, I know, but Chris, God
playoff.
forbid he gets hurt in the postseason. In this, can you imagine?
Well, and it's more than that, Rob. Like Kawhi's, and this is the same for Embiid. I've put Embiid in this same boat. Their problems, injury-wise, seem to be that they can't stay healthy for 80 some odd games. Like Kawhi played throughout the season.
No, he played a lot of games. We were shocked.
Come playoff time, right? He wore down. And Embiid seems to do the same thing. And so those two in particular, I'm not going to go to the mat over it, but I don't think they should be playing. And I can't imagine their teams are happy about it.
I just think with so much on the line, Chris, and so much money that they have poured into these guys, and I get it. It's an honor to represent your country and win a gold medal, and I'm not trying to discount it or poo-poo it or act like it's not important, Chris. But my goodness, with the money you have tied into this, right, it would kill a franchise to have one of their guys hurt.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, Philadelphia, Rob, they just gave Paul George $212 million. And as he can stay healthy all he wants, but if Embiid isn't, then they're in trouble. They got no chance without Embiid. So I feel you on that. But I just think that, I think we should be favored, and we are favored. But it's going to be a lot tougher, I would say, than we expect. Or maybe, I don't know if I should say than we expect. But here's some of the guys on the Canadian team, Rob. I mean, this roster, and it's got role players, which I like, right? Because we got a bunch of stars, but you have to mesh those games together in short order. Guys that aren't used to being role players have to become role players, right? And here's their team. Kyle Alexander, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, good role player. RJ Barrett, nice role player for this team, can give you 22. Trey Bell Haynes, Kim Birch, O'Shea Brissett, Dylan Brooks, Lou Dort, as I said, Zach Edey, the 7'4" guy, Melvin Ejim, Shea Gilgeous Alexander. They got a bunch of, I don't know, all these guys won't be playing. Jamal Murray, Andrew Nembhard from Indiana, Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell. So they have a good team. And then that's not to mention some of the other teams. I mean, Slovenia is trying to qualify. They've got Luka, obviously. Greece, of course, has Giannis. France has Wemby and some other players that are really good. So it's gonna be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. Now, one of the things, Rob, that's always bothered me, and I think has played probably at least a little bit of a factor in these games, are the rules are different, right? The NBA rules are different from FIBA rules, and they play the Olympics in FIBA rules. So the games are only 40 minutes. There's 4 10-minute quarters rather than 12-minute quarters. There's no defensive 3-second rule, so you can basically play zone. You can play a zone. The 3-point line, Rob, in international competition is 22.1 feet, and in the NBA is 23.7. And then you have shorter games, so you only get 5 fouls to foul out instead of 6. And then even the ball, Rob, the NBA ball has 8 panels, same size, but the international ball has 12. And that makes a difference. A ball that even though it's the same size, the different paneling makes a difference. And so, Rob, one thing I think they should do, and it's not just for the Olympics, this is just for basketball worldwide. We know the world is smaller. Obviously, international players are playing in the NBA. Our teams are, our youth 17 and under team is playing the different countries in the world and, 17 and under teams. Rob, I think it's time to standardize the rules around the world. I think they should all use, at the professional level, use the same ball. 3-point line should be the same. Remember, they used to have the trapezoid lane. The defensive rules should be the same. Like, I think they should make the rules the same. And it would be great for the Olympics because now it's not an adjustment for any country. But I just think it makes sense overall that at least at the professional level, the rules around the world are the same.
Yeah, I just wonder if there'll be pushback. What rules are you talking about? Are you going to make them all the same? Are they all USA rules?
No, I don't think they have to be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like to get people on board. It can't be like you're Bogart and you're going to tell us to play the way you guys play. I think that is where the issue, and I think they want to make the international thing just a little bit different, so that when you play these things, it's not an extension of the NBA, or you're still playing. You know what I mean? What we're used to seeing. It could be a little different.
I do think the NBA would have the advantage, and I would even say should, in that it is the best league in the world.
Right. And they got clout, they got money,
right.
You know what I mean?
Remember they got rid of the trapezoid lane, I think in 2008. So that, that's an adjustment. Or it was 2010. They announced it in 2008, but it was 2010. So I just, it's not like the biggest thing in the world, but I just think, again, like basketball now, the international countries are making a huge impact on the NBA and American basketball in general. And so I just think that the world is smaller now, and we should, if we're playing this same game, we're competing against each other, we should have the same rules.
I mean, it makes sense, but I could see where there could be a pushback, or just the idea of not having it all the same and wanting something different. You know what I mean? To make it an international contest, Chris, to make it uniquely its own. So I think that's why.
Well, I think FIBA wants their juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Otherwise, they're giving in, right? Otherwise, they're giving in, and they're going to be like, we're going to be bullied by the United States.
Yeah.
They're running this. Now they took this over.
Right. All right.